Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, it's me, Janatul Nainjeri, from Bangladesh, Corporate Ambassador of the Institute of Global Professionals.
And I am Musana Rahman Mou from Bangladesh, Corporate Ambassador of the Institute of Global Professionals.
The mission of this institution is to empower people from all over the world, especially the job seekers and the job holders, by providing effective training and consultation.
For the students, the mission of Institute of Global Professionals is to empower them to better their lives and to contribute positively to the organizations and communities in which they work and live. We accomplish this by providing quality higher education.
We serve students locally, nationally, and internationally through our respective campus locations and distance learning formats. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals.
People who are joining with us, I'm cordially welcoming you all. We hope that the webinar will help you to enlighten your knowledge in various sectors. Hope you will enjoy and stay with us till the end.
We have already completed 18 webinars successfully, and our last webinar was on Unleash Your Potential. Today, we are presenting the webinar 19 on leadership and success.
Today's guest speaker, Ha Chi Ken. Ha Chi Ken is an international leadership trainer, corporate trainer, and coach. He has over 8 years of experience in training and development as a trainer and coach specializing in advanced business skills and tools. Also, he has a total 15 years work experience in the manufacturing company.
Ha holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering from Nottingham Trent University, United Kingdom. But with a great passion for continuous learning and personal development, Ha constantly studies from other international masters and leaders.
Our main focus is in helping companies to develop high performance leaders and teams by empowering individuals with the right skill sets and tools that enables them to create extraordinary results in the workplace. He believes that to achieve any success, we must embrace leadership. His mission is to empower leaders to empower others.
Ha Ji-Kin has a total 16 years of work experience in the manufacturing industry. Prior to his training and development career, he was the operations manager of an international elevator manufacturing company. Ha has successfully built and grew the operation in Malaysia from a startup to RM 6 million in annual turnovers within 4 years. His formula is keep it simple and straightforward. Ha has experience in diverse areas like production, quality control, inventory, procurement, logistics, supply chain, project management, product R&D, human resource, and sales and marketing during this period. Moreover, Ha has a double roles as export sales manager for 4 years, where he secured million ringgits of sales monthly.
If you have any questions during the presentation, please write down in the comment box. We will try to answer them all as far as possible. Today, we are happy to have him conduct this webinar. Let's welcome Ha Chi Ken Sir to the Institute of Global Professionals.
We'd love to introduce today's guest speaker, Ha Shikhin. Hello, sir.
Hello. Hi, guys. Do I start right now? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sir. We are online.
All right, sure. Hello, guys. My name is Ha. Thank you so much for your kind introduction. First and foremost, how many of you here would like to be a better leader? Okay, and how many of you would like to have a better results and also outcome for yourself? Yes. So thank you so much to the International Global Professionals (IGP) for inviting me here today. It's very honored to be here today. Thank you so much for that. And secondly, I also want to thank every one of you here for being on the live to listen up to this program. And I will do my very best to actually give you the best, and hopefully you can take home some good value and for you to actually create the success that you want, right? So most importantly right now is that why are we here? Yes, there must be a good reason for you to be here, right? So let's start off a little bit some activity at this moment so that I can see who is with me and everything. So very important. Let's start something. Okay, I'm gonna ask you two questions, right? Two simple questions, and to all the audience right now. And if you can, maybe you can type into the chat box or the comments so that I can see it. Okay, there must be a perfectly good reasons for you to be here today. Yes, you don't just join for the fun of it, right? So there must be a perfectly good reason for you to be here. So question number one is, what do you hope to achieve by attending this program? Number one. Question number two, just suppose, what you hope for became true. How would that make a difference for you in your life, or maybe in your career, or in your job and everything? So just answer these two questions. Maybe you can type into the live and to the comment. And what do you hope to achieve so that we can see your reply? Yeah, quickly, just type in the chat. Yeah. What do you hope to achieve by attending this program? Suppose what you hope for became true. How will that make a difference for you in your life, your job, your career? Yeah. Right? So we have a lot of people coming from Philippines and everything. Yeah. So what do you hope to achieve? Please write down. Yeah. What do you hope to achieve from attending this program? Yeah. Some say I want to be a better leader. Want to learn more about leadership to become successful. Yeah. So everybody can take a look at everyone's replies so that you know, and you can maybe realize that a lot of things that you want is very, very similar, or it may not be similar. Whichever way, I hope that we actually get inspired about this. Yeah. So I'm looking at some of the comments. Okay, great. Right? Let's get started. Okay, so have a little interaction with me because I can't really see you all, but I hope that I will look at the comment and from here onwards, but interact with me so that I know that you are still with me. Okay, so this is some of the objectives that we're going to have today. I hope that at the end of today, at the end of these 2 hours, you will discover some very important traits of being a leader for you to create the success that you want. And you can actually see opportunities in problems and not run away from it, but actually take and empower yourself to take on bigger challenges and create something with yourself, because behind every problems there is an opportunity. And we also discover how our minds actually work, because what is actually stopping us is actually in between our 2 ears. And I hope that you can actually from here discover something about yourself and how can you break past that and create the breakthrough that you want, and how do you actually overcome the little voice in between. Okay, great. Yeah. So let's start. Okay, so this little guy here, assume that it's you, right? How many of you here would like to be better, bigger, more clever, more handsome, more pretty, faster, more capable, more successful and everything? Everybody wants this? Yes? I'm quite sure, right? Can you see this? Yeah. And over the other side, on the bigger guy, this is where you want to be, and this is the area that you want to have something, right? So what do you really want to have on this side? You know, every one of us want to have something. Everybody hope for something, right? So maybe put a comment write down, what do you hope to have on the other side when you achieve it? What do you hope to get out of this? More money, a house, a car? Just type it down so that you know. What do you want to have? Right? So in order to get to where you want to have, right, we need to do this, right? We have to do something about it. And this is a transition from the small little guy here or the girl to the bigger guy or girl. We need to be doing something. Then action is very important. Yeah, we cannot be just thinking about it and not doing. So the doing part is one thing, but more importantly, right now, it's about, we talk about leadership and success, right? What I realized in my own experience is that in order to achieve the success that you want in any area, it could be your business, your career, it could be your own physical fitness, our own relationship, our own lifestyle that you want, or finance in all kind of areas. In order to achieve that, it requires leadership. And leadership is where it actually drives us forward, pushes forward, gives us a motivation, actually lead ourselves towards where we want to get. We cannot, if you're not in control of ourselves, who's in control? So the only person, the best person to actually manage our own body and our own mind, right, is ourselves, right? So because of this, we need to be somebody. In order to be that person, we need to be the person right now, do the things we have to do in order to have the things we want to have. The house that you want, the money that you want, the career that you want, the relationship, the love, the family that you want right now. All the things that you want to have on the other side, the bigger guy, right, is things that you wanted. But in order to do that, we need to be that person right now. Yeah. So this is the be, do, have principle I'm going to share with you. Let's start off straight away, okay? So in order to do this, to be somebody, we need to be leaders. And this is where the topic is all about, how to be a leader in order to achieve the success that you want, right? So leaders are what? Are who? Who are leaders? In my experience, look at this picture, leaders are champions. Yeah. If you look at sports, if I use sports as an analogy, right? In our Olympic Games, all the athletes in the Olympic Games, are they champions? They are champions in their own country, right? They are the best of the best in their own country. And they come to the Olympic stage and they all compete to be the best of the best, right? But they are all winners, right? So even though they may not be the first or second, or even though they are last, but they are the winners in their own country, in their own rights. Make sense to you? So they are all champions. And here I would like to share with you that I believe leaders have to be champions. That means leaders must have the ability to win, be able to win. You may not win all the time, but you have the ability to win. And this is where you can actually start creating the results that you want as a champion, right? So if you are not a champion right now, you need to start practicing, training ourselves to be the champion that you want to be. So how many of you here would like to know what are the 5 leader traits that I discovered over my years working as an engineer, moving up to be a business owner myself over the past 25 years, I think more than that, about 25, 26 years now. Over there, what are some of the things I discovered that a leader must have in order to be the champion that we want in all areas of our life? How many of you would like to know? Yeah, ready? So let me share with you now. So these are the 5 traits of a champion. Okay, again, the champion here I'm referring to as a leader as well. So first and foremost, number 1, okay, take notes of this. You can write this down, and it's very important. Yeah, number 1, you must have clarity. Yeah, very, very important. You need to know exactly what do you really want. This is number 1. If you do not know what you want in life, right, or whatever you want on the other side, right, then it's going to be a very challenging journey for you, right? So you need to know how many of you know exactly what you want? Yeah. How many of you know exactly what you want to achieve? Okay. Some of you may know. Some of you, I'm quite sure you know exactly what. But there are also some who may not even know. If you find yourself saying, "I do not know," I'm not very sure. This is one thing I would like to encourage you all to do, is to start asking yourself this question: what do you really want, and why? Clarity is knowing what you want specifically and why do you want what you want. Very important. And I've in my journey, a few times I find myself lost. A few times, especially when you already achieve the goal, and then what's next, right? And I start to have a little chaos in between, not sure what to go, where to do. And this is the time when I start asking myself, what do I really want? What's next for me? And why do I want that? And I keep asking myself. I just remember about 3 years ago, I was having the same situation, and I was asking myself, what do I really want? And I wasn't sure, and I was taking some time for me to find out. And I actually wake up early in the morning just to go for my jog and walk early in the morning when it's quiet, just to ask myself this simple question: what do I really want? And I've been asking myself continuously for about a month to 2 in order to get the clarity that we want. So number 1 traits for all leaders in order to achieve whatever you want: clarity is very important. Know exactly what you want, okay? So why is it important? Because it's the clarity that actually allows us to move towards the direction, exactly what towards the direction. Can you imagine that you don't even know where you want to go and you're moving forward? Where are you going to? Which direction? Are you moving the right direction? When you don't even know where's the end result that you want or the end destination that you want, right? So clarity really precedes the success statement because it gives you the awareness for the change that we need to change and the direction that we want. Yeah. So how many of you know Anthony Robbins? Yeah, if you have been following Anthony Robbins or Tony Robbins here, I'm one of their followers. He always said this: clarity is power. The more clarity that you have, the more power you're going to get. Yeah. So something here over here, clarity is knowing what you want, and purpose is knowing why you are doing what you're doing. So that's very important. Remember, clarity is knowing what you want and why. Right? Yeah. So number two, let's go to number two. Come on, come on, come on. Excuse me for a while. Excuse me for a little while, a little disturbance. I'm sorry, my son disturbed me for a little while. All right, number two, where am I? Okay, now, confidence. Number two, you need to have confidence. I believe everything that we do at the end is all about building confidence for ourselves. Because let me ask you this question. If you are 100% confident of yourself, if you're truly confident, there's no doubt about it, is there anything that you cannot do? Is there anything that you cannot do if you are fully confident? No, right? If you know that you're fully confident, everything to you is like no problem. You can go ahead with it. So what's the problem? That means when you're not moving forward ahead, that means you do not have full confidence, right? So in the absence of confidence, what is the other side of it? When you have confidence, right? What's the opposite of confidence? Can someone maybe type on the comments? What is the opposite of confidence? What do you think? What's the opposite? When you're not so confident, what's on the other side that's holding you back? Come on. Fear, right? Isn't it? So when you're not so confident, there's always this fear lurking behind you, telling you that, no, maybe it's not. Are you sure or not? Are you sure? What if? What if it's that? Are you sure you're good enough? There's so many questions about it. And fear is the one that's stopping most people from moving forward. But ultimately, what we want to really build is that leaders have confidence. Usually, leaders tends to have more confidence than the rest of the people or their team and that's the reason why they are willing to be leaders, right? So for all of us here, if you want to really achieve the results that you want, you must think of stepping up and be the leader and find the confidence that you need in order for you to move forward. Okay? Why is it important? Because confidence, where there is about clarity and confidence. Once you are confident, you know that you can do it. So let me answer this question. Has there been a time before in the past, or maybe recently, or maybe a few years back ago, you know that you are facing some problems or you wanted to do something, even though you do not know how exactly to do it yet, you don't know how to do it, and it seems to be such a big problem right now, but somehow inside you say that, no, I can do this. I'm confident I can do this. Even though you do not know how to do it yet, but you're confident. Has it ever happened to you before? Has it ever happened? I'm sure you have, right? You have this feeling before, right? And that's confidence. And where does confidence come from? Usually, in my experience, is from your own strengths. Everybody has strengths, right? And talents and knowledge and skills. In the area that you're good at what you're doing, in the area that you are talented in, you tend to be more confident. Isn't it true? Yeah. So this is where it's important for you to find the confidence in any way so that you can actually be able to continue moving forward towards the direction that you want. Yeah. So this is one quote that I have. You actually build confidence. You can actually build confidence by creating wins. Every win that you gain, you actually improve. You actually gain a lot of one confidence after another, and you stack on top of each other. Yeah, isn't it true? Every time you do something and you get better and better at it, do you get more confident? Definitely, right? Yeah. So confidence, right? So in the absence of confidence, usually how many of you are fully confident at all and in all the times? Are you fully confident all the time? No, right? So what do you actually do when you do not have confidence, but you know that you have to do something? Yeah. And this is trait number 3, to have the courage. Courage comes in when there's fear, and courage is when, in spite of fear, you still go and do it because you do not have a confidence, but you know it's the right thing to do. This is when courage comes in. Leaders tends to have the courage. Leaders tends to be more courageous as well. Yeah. So this girl here, so one of my idol, right? I think I really admire her. Her name is Bethany Hamilton. How many of you know who Bethany Hamilton is? Do you know her? Yeah. If you do not know, you can Google her. She's very, very inspiring because she's a surfer, professional surfer. Can you see that she has lost her left arms? She doesn't have a left arm, right? She's lost it because at the age of 13, when she's surfing, she's actually a professional surfer at the age of 13. And she was surfing, playing around, practicing, and a 14 feet tiger shark actually bit her arms off when she was 13 years old, right? And she was actually going to emergency, and was going through the hospital, things like that. And you can actually find out the story from the internet. There's actually a movie on her called The Soul Surfer. You can actually watch it. Very, very inspiring. And basically at 14 years old, the shark bit off her arms, but she was very courageous. Within just 3 weeks, right? She's back on the water surfing, signed up for a competition, and she actually won the competition 3 weeks later. And she's fantastic. And when I saw the stories, right, I think this is something very, very courageous. It's not everybody there to do. Because for her, even though she said, this is her quote, courage doesn't mean that you don't get afraid. Courage means that you don't let fear stop you. How many of you find that sometimes because of fear, right, you dare not even do something and you just stop yourself at the track? Yeah, is it true? Yeah. So it's very important for us to not let fear stop you if you can. Always have to find the courage and do something. Yeah, because this is where that you have to do something. Yeah. So this is in the hospital, and you can. So it's about taking the leap of faith and to actually do things that actually fears you. Yeah. So, for example, how many of you have done bungee jump before? Have any one of you bungee jump before? Yes? Anyone? Yeah. How many of you would like to jump but dare not even take the leap yet? Okay. How many of you would like to be able to really, really just go and do it? Yeah. Try do it because I've jumped before, and this is where you can actually feel the fear right there and then, right? And to really conquer the fear and take the leap of faith. So it's a real good test of courage. Yeah. So courage. So like in this quote from Muhammad Ali, he who is not courageous enough to take the risk will accomplish nothing in life. Do you agree on this? Yeah, and a lot of things that we want to do, a lot of success that we want to achieve, a lot of results that we want to achieve, especially the bigger one. Is there risk involved? Definitely there is risk involved. So, but in order to achieve that, we must be willing to at least try to go after it and not be afraid of it. So find the courage and do it anyway. Yeah. Number four is actually commitment. Yeah. Commitment is where the real action takes place. Commitment is what gives you the whatever it takes, you're going to do it because you are committed either to yourself or to someone else or to a cause. So commitment is about action. It means commitment is going to do it. You're going to do it anyway, despite whether you like it or not, whether you feel like it or not, you don't feel like it. You're just going to do it anyway because this is what gets things done. Whatever happens, whatever that's going to happen, you need to have the action. Remember the do part is about taking action and have the commitment. So commitment is what pulls us through. Yeah. So the road to success is through commitment. Yeah, very important. And commitment is also you can say it's a promise to yourself. You make a promise to yourself to do something. Yeah. So it's or you can make a promise to someone else, right? So this is where the real thing really happens, because at the end of the day, it's about action, taking action. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyone who here knows Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah, he's my idol. I always wanted to build a body like this, but he's definitely one person that if you read his bio, read his book, it's fantastic. And he has this one famous quote: "You can either have results or excuses, not both. You either choose either you have results or you have excuses, never both. So which one would you like to have? Would you want to have results or do you want excuses? So here's the kicker, right? If you find yourself giving excuses in whatever situation that you have, right? If you find yourself giving excuses, what does it mean? It means that you haven't got the results, right? So in other words, this is a very, very good way of getting clarity of yourself. If you find yourself complaining, giving a lot of excuses and everything, right? Or justifying so many things, it means that you haven't got results. So what do you have to do as a leader? Sometimes it's good to just shut them off and find a ways to find the results. That means you haven't got the results. It's either results or excuses. Yeah. So finally, trait number 5. Trait number 5 is having the control. And this is out of the 5, I think it's also equally important. I think this could be one of the most important, because if you are not in control of yourself, who is? If you're not in control of yourself, who is controlling your life or your thoughts? Right? So control your own destiny or someone else will. So the things that we are doing right now, are you doing it for the outcome or the results that you want, or are you doing it for other people? It means whatever we are doing right now, we could be creating something, right? Either it's for yourself or for someone else. So have the control of your mind, especially to know what you really want. So the clarity that you want, have the control to actually have the confidence, build confidence all the time, have the control to have the courage, right? And the commitment as well, right? So this is the key here. So remember this, the we do have principle. So in order for the small guy to the big guy, yeah, what actually stops us from doing what you have to do? You know, whatever I just shared with you, how does it sound? I mean, does it sound logical? Does it sound good? But maybe you already know about this, right? But in order to have what we have, we need to be doing something, right? So what is the resistance in between here that's stopping us from achieving what we want? If you're not there yet, it means something is stopping us. Am I right? Is it true? Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah. So there's some kind of resistance. Yes? Yeah. Okay. So if there's a resistance, right, what would be the biggest resistance that we have from you becoming from this small girl here to the bigger person that you want to be? So what is the biggest things that is stopping you? Can you all maybe just type in the chat box or in comment somewhere? What is really stopping you? What is the biggest resistance? What is that? Yeah. What is it? What do you think? Am I right to say fear? Am I right to say this? My experience is fear, right? I don't know about you, but majority of time I've been training more than 5,000 people right now. So what is the biggest resistance, or what is holding us back from having what we want? Usually it's fear, right? So what are the fears that you have? What kind of fear do you have that's stopping us from moving ahead? Yeah? Share in the chat box if you can. What is stopping you right now? Because if you can type it down, and you acknowledge it, is the first step of awareness, right? So what is actually holding you back right now? What's the fear? Fear of what? Fear of failure? Is it possible? Is it fear? Or fear of what other people is thinking of you? Yeah? Or what else? Fear that you are not enough, not good enough, not tall enough, not pretty enough, not handsome enough, not thin enough, not big enough, not clever enough, or the not enough, correct? So every one of us have some kind of fear. And this is where I think we really need to handle this part. And this is where all the 5 traits, right? Knowing exactly what you want, the clarity, building your confidence along the way, having the courage to keep doing it despite the fear, having the commitment to yourself to do whatever it takes, right? And finally, having the control, which we are talking about now. Make sense? Yeah? So let's talk about something very recent at this moment, right? Crisis ahead. Currently, the whole world is in crisis, right? Because of this COVID-19 pandemic, right? So are we in crisis right now? I think we are right now in a certain crisis at this moment. So what do we have to do? So every one of us will be thinking differently. There's a lot of fear, right? A lot of worries, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. Some people are very, very sad and things like that. Some people are losing jobs and everything. There's so many things is happening, right? So shall we study a little bit on what is our behavior during crisis? What are some of the behaviors that we have during a crisis? Yeah? let's study this, okay? Tell me if I'm right. Okay, so at the beginning, just say whenever there's a crisis or a big problems that you're facing, big or small, let's look at this current situation that is very, very big. So what is the first behavior that you observe yourself, or maybe not yourself? How about your friends? What do you actually observe first? What do you actually see? Okay? The first one, do you see people going on denial? Maybe at the beginning, when it first started off, when the first most of the people are in denial. In other words, they're saying like, no, it's just for a while, it just happened for a little while, it will just pass. Small issues, this is not a big deal. Yeah? I remember in Malaysia when I first facing this in February. Okay, and first facing in February, a lot of people are like, it's just no big deal, it's okay. It happens before the SARS in Hong Kong. It's not so big deal. We just have to put on masks and that's it, and nobody really cares about it. And no matter the government is giving or people are advising us to do certain things, most people are just in denial, saying that no, it's not a big deal, right? However, it becomes a really big deal. Right? So what comes next? Do you see people starting to blame after that? Yeah, people are blaming, right? They started blaming the government for not telling earlier. They're blaming your friends for not not listening to you. It's a lot of blaming going around, a lot of finger pointing, of accusation, right, of things like this. Yeah? So what happens after blame? Okay, once you have blame and you know that the whole country is also in big troubles. In Malaysia, everyone is involved, and we have to actually lock down. Everybody stays at home for the next 3 months. You can't do anything. So what comes next? Yeah, you see people justifying. After blaming, they start to justify. Yeah, because of this, because of that. Everybody have their own reasons why they are doing this thing, or they have their own reasons why they are not doing what they should be doing. The law says that we must wear masks, and we justify why masks is not important, and we can do without masks, and so all kind of things is happening, right? People are justifying after they blame. First they deny, they go in denial, and after they cannot deny anymore, they start to blame, and when they cannot blame anymore, they start to justify. Does it make sense? Yeah. So for some people, they will just at the end of it just give up. You cannot stand anymore, and you just give up. Right? Some of the businesses give up, they cannot do anything, and they just entirely give up. But the thing is this, in a situation like this, for example, I'm using as an example, okay? So is it good to be in denial, blaming, justifying, or even quit? We can't even quit, right? Yeah, because we are in this situation right now. If you quit, you may actually die, right? So what do we have to do? What's the only best possible for us to move forward? What do you think? If you're not going to, what should people be doing? Okay, or what should you be doing if you're not going to be in denial? If you don't deny, you don't blame, don't justify, don't give up. What would be the best way for us to move forward in a certain crisis like this? What do you think? Okay, put a comment so that I can see. What do you think? If you don't, what is the next best option? Okay, sometimes you expect other people to be doing. What is it? I give you a little clue, starting with the letter R. Begin with the letter R. Yeah. So if you are the leader in this situation, right, what would you need to do? Or what do you want to do? Or what do you think you should do? Right? Take responsibility. Can I say this? So the next step is really to actually take responsibility. Be responsible, because unless we are willing to be responsible for whatever the situation we are in right now, do you think we can actually start to move forward positively? Yeah, we can continue to be in denial, we can continue to be blaming, we can continue to just justify and give up and everything, but is it going to be helpful? Definitely not going to be helpful, right? So the only way forward is actually be responsible. Even though it's not your fault, this whole crisis or whatever problems you're facing or whatever challenges you're facing, it's not your fault, but you are in the challenges, right? The only way to do is be responsible. Be responsible for what? Responsible for yourself in the situation to do something that is positive, that can actually move you in a positive manner, move you ahead, right? So you need to actually draw a line over here and not to be in this emotion at all, or not to be in this behavior at all. If you find yourself in this denial, blame, justification, and quitting behavior, right, it's time for you to step out of it and take responsibility. And this is where leadership comes in. Because if you really want to get the results that you want, Do you need to be the leader that you need to be? Obviously, right? So take responsibility. In fact, best is that don't take responsibility, only take charge. You need to take charge, even though it's not your fault, even though it's other people's fault. Can you step up and really take charge and to move and do something that can actually get you out of the situation? So in this current situation right now, what can you be responsible for? What can you take charge right now? Something that I want you to ask yourself right now, right? I know it's a very big task. You may not be the government, but what can we do individually as our own, as a leader yourself, within your own community? What can you do? We all have our own circle of influence, right? We all have our people that we can actually influence. How can we take charge and influence them to make a change for the better? Make sense? Yeah. So you're the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control. If you choose to be, you can actually influence, direct, and control. Yeah, your own environment. You can make your life what you want to be. Because who is in control of your own life? Only yourself. If you're not in control, who else? Then who else is controlling? Something that you need to be asking yourself on a daily basis. Yeah. So let me recap all the 5 traits of the champion. So number 1 is clarity. Make sure you know exactly what you want and why. Build confidence along the way. Always, every day, build confidence. Build yourself. The more confidence you have as you build yourself to be a better, a bigger person, a better leader, right? This is where the confidence will help you through and everything. Have the courage, because every time, even though you build confidence right now, the next level is going to be a bit fearful, and you want to have the courage to climb to the next level and do something a bit more tough. And courage has to come hand in hand with confidence as well. Yeah, because there's always fear. Finally, commit yourself to the next goal and everything. Make sure you have a little commitment to yourself. If it's about health and fitness, commit to yourself. If it's about relationship with your partners, commit to yourself. If it's about business and to create some impact to the marketplace, commit to it and do whatever it takes to get it. Yeah? And then have the control. Okay. So let's talk. So moving on right now, I'm going to talk a bit more about control at this moment, which is very, very important. Yeah. So what do we need to focus right now? So it's all about focus. We only have 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Everybody has the same amount of time. So how you want to focus on is very important. What do you need to focus? It's what going to get. It's what will determine what kind of results you're going to get. So stay focused, right? It's what we are. It's all about focus. Simple as that. Right? So now I'm going to share with you a result formula. I'm an engineer. People say I'm an engineer. I like formula. Why I like formula? Because if you know how the formula works, A plus B plus C is D, then you will know how to do it again and again. Yeah. But this is on a very big overall for you to understand. Some of you may know this, but just to reinforce this again, the results that you have. How many of you want to have the results that you want? Whatever results. Okay. You all want the results. Okay. Definitely one, right? So what creates results? What actually creates the results that you want? Yeah. What do you think? What actually creates the results? It's from your actions, right? Because actions they have, right? The actions can be your behavior, because certain behavior they have is very, very subconscious, very automatic. You just do it. And this is where we talk about behavior early on, the denial, blaming, things like that. You find yourself always like to blame and giving excuses. That is the action that you are doing most of the time. But you also want to be very conscious about it so that you know what actions are you doing. So the actions that you are doing, your behavior, will actually create the results that you want. But where does the action come from? What actually affects your action? What actually influences your action? Yeah? It's this thing called feelings. How you feel about it. And where does feelings come from? Is from your thoughts. So in other words, what you think, you start to feel. And what you feel, you start to act accordingly to how you feel, right? And you're going to get certain results. For example, if you think of something, let's say I give you an example. If somebody, one of your friends or somebody you don't even know, suddenly come up to you right in your face and start to scold you, right? If they scold you, all kind of bad words going to throw at you, and you say all the nasty things about you, what are you going to think? Whatever you think, right, you're going to start to feel. If you think and look at him and say, why are you doing this to me? And you get angry about this, and your feelings is going to be very angry, and when you want to fight, and your actions you're going to be a fight. You're going to fight with him. And maybe you're going to start to throw back words with him. Maybe you can even go into a fist fight with him, right? And then the result is both of you may end up in jail or in the police station for fighting, right? So that's the results. Yeah. However, if someone is saying all the nasty things on you, and you are like, I don't care, say whatever you say, it's your mouth, it's my ear, I choose to listen what I want to listen, and you feel that there's no issue. I just choose to be happy. I choose to ignore, right? And your feelings is that I'm okay with it. So your action will be, you just ignore, right? As a result, there's nothing happens, right? So it really depends on how you think, right? So the results that you have is just the results, the outcome of it. But what gets you the results is actually directly and indirectly a result of how you think and how you actually define the message that you get, or how you actually uh, or how do you actually translate the message that you get. If someone is scolding you and say that, it's okay, scold me all you want, it's okay, then it's how you translate it, right? So this is a formula. So remember, how you think, you start to feel, okay? And that's the result. You translate to the action that you're going to have, and you're going to create some kind of results as a result. So life consists in what the man is thinking all day long. So we are always constantly thinking so many things every day. The question I want to ask you today, or right now, do you know what are you thinking? Are you conscious about what you're thinking? Do you know what you're thinking? Or are you on automatic? Okay. How many of you have actually said something that is not so nice to someone in the next 5 seconds, or maybe 5 minutes later, or maybe 15 minutes later, and you realize that, I shouldn't have said that. But in that moment, right, you just say it and you just act it up. Yeah, it's because in your head suddenly you just think of something and you just feel angry about it, and you start to say something that words is so hurtful that you can never take it back. How many of you as guilty as I am? That means have done it before. Yeah, I have, right? I believe. Yeah. I'm quite sure all of us have done it before. I believe. Yeah. So with this, so can I go a little bit? Can I have a permission to go a bit deeper to understand how our mind thinks? Our mind, the one in between both our ears, in the mind here. Everything that we have in our mind here can actually affect how we actually feel and behave. Would you like to know? Can I share with you this? When I first heard about this quite some time back, about I think 9 years back, it was an aha moment for me. I was like, I never thought this. It was a big realization for me, a big aha moment for me. And from that day onwards, when I tell myself, from now onwards, I'm going to start to train myself to think differently and train myself to be more conscious. Yeah. If it's going to be something important for you, I would like you to pay attention right now. Yeah. So this is the iceberg, right? You seen this iceberg? How many of you know what is the iceberg? Yes. So as you can see in the iceberg, a small percentage of the top is actually above the water. The balance of it is at the bottom. So this is like your mind, right? So if I just draw a little round here, this is like your mind. So my question to you right now is this: how many percent of your mind do you think you're consciously using? Okay, let me ask again. How many percent of your mind, do you think you're consciously using? Okay. How many percent? Put a little chat in the comment. How many percent of your mind do you think you are conscious about it? That you know what you're thinking. For example, right now you are in this session here with me, and you're listening to me. Some of you may not be listening to me right now. You're thinking something else. What did I have lunch? What do I want to do later on? And your mind is wandering, right? So how many percent of your mind are you conscious most of the time? So I give you a little clue. Okay, I can draw a little line. So how many percent of our mind are you conscious most of the time? So research has shown that it's about 10%. In fact, the latest research shows about 7%. I do not know how they calculate it. Scientists can calculate everything, but it's about 10%. 5 to 10% of our mind, you use it consciously, right? If 10% of your mind is conscious, that means you know what's happening. You're thinking about it. Right now, you're feeling cold or warm, or you feel like you need to do something, or you're thinking about something. You're conscious about it. So the other bottom of the mind, what is it? What is the other 90%? It's a subconscious, right? This is 90%. So what is the subconscious mind actually? What does it actually do? If 90% of the mind is subconscious, it's very powerful, right? So what does it do? What does this subconscious mind actually do? What is the main function? Yeah, think about it. What is the main function? Yeah, type in the chat box. Yeah, or the comment. What is the main function of subconscious mind? Okay, so let me ask you this question. How many of you here realize that you are still breathing? You're breathing. Do you realize that you're breathing? Oh, did I just make awareness? I mean, did I just remind you that you're actually breathing? Or do you tell yourself that you need to breathe right now, in and out? Your mind just do it subconsciously, right? You are not conscious about it. It's just very automatically, right? So that's one of the function. Our mind actually controls our body function and just start to breathe. Do you remember when your dinner? You've just eaten your dinner. Do you remember how many times you chew before you swallow? You don't even think about that, right? You just put it in your mouth and you start to chew, right? Okay. Early in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, right? What's the first thing that you do in the morning? Yeah. What's the first thing that you do early in the morning when you wake up? For some of us, we just take up the phone and start to check messages first. Yeah. Or some of us just waking up, it's like, still very sleepy, close down the alarm clock, and you crawl yourself into the bathroom, take out a toothpaste and toothbrush and toothpaste and put it in, and just brush your teeth without even thinking too much, right? You just automatically just do it, and you just. How many of you, when you stand up to walk, right? Which left leg first or right leg first? Which one do you start first? Are you even conscious? Left first or right first? You don't even think, right? Now, these are all the body functions that the subconscious mind actually controls. There's so many things. Our digestive system, how our body actually reflects and everything is all in our subconscious mind. Okay, that is biology. I'm not going to touch on that. I want to touch on one area that's very important, which is in this subconscious mind, which is called the emotions. Remember I talked about emotions earlier on, the fear, right? And these emotions is so important. So let me ask you a few questions right now. How many of you have been heartbroken at least one time in your life? You have been heartbroken at least one time in your life. Someone broke your heart. Yeah? Everybody? Yeah. If you never raise your hands, right, I think you're lying, right? You're definitely a liar. So all of us, I believe most of us will have, unless you are the one that break people's heart, right? Yeah. So all of us have, right? And because of this little experience, the first love especially, right? The first love, the first girl that you ever loved, or the first guy that you ever loved, and that fella really breaks your heart and crush it and just break your heart, right? Do you still remember that the ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend of yours? Yeah. Some of you say no, some of you still remember, right? And the moment you see his name, or you mention his name, or even see somebody that looks like him, and everything that you the feeling that the guy or the girl just break your heart can just flash back to you, right? Does it make sense to you? How many of you have ever experienced that before? Yeah, I remember my first love, and my girlfriend dumped me and actually crushed my heart. I was crying like crazy. Like, men don't cry, right? It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So it's the same thing. So how many of you? Let me ask you another question. How many of you here have lost money at least one time in your life? Lost money? Yes? You have? Yeah. Then maybe it's $10, $20, $50, $100. You have lost money before? Yes? Okay, give you another question. How many of you have loaned money to someone else? Okay. And until today, that person happens maybe your good friend, your best friend. Until today, that good friend of yours still haven't paid you back. How many have experienced this before? Yeah. It doesn't matter how big the amount. It could be 50 ringgit, it could be 100 ringgit, it could be 500 ringgit. Have you ever experienced this before? That somebody that you loan your friend some money, and until today you still haven't paid you back. Yeah. So when you see the person, what's the first thing you remember? Oh, you still owe me $50, right? Ever happened before? Yeah. So it happens to me before. Actually, at one point, I remember one time I have a friend. After we graduate, right? After we graduate and we have a friend, we gather together. We always, when we came up from universities, and we were always meeting up for over supper, over dinner to talk about work and things like this. And we have all these one particular friends that we've never been seeing her for quite some time. And we always say, hey, what happened to her? Things like that. And I'm very curious. And one fine day, she came up to me and called me up and said, hey, Hey, how are you? Things like that. Hey, how are you? Long time never see you. I say, yeah. Hey, I need your help a bit. I say, okay, what can I do? How can I help you? And she happens to be somebody that I like in school long time ago. And she called me and said, hey, can you help me? I needed some money. Can you loan me 500 ringgit? Yeah. Can you loan me 500 ringgit? And I was like, oh, during the time after working for 2 years, when I came out, after working for 2 years, all I have in my bank account is still 500 ringgit. That's all I have. I was really, really dead broke, right? I was just, I never saved much money. And when she asked me for it, and because we are friends, what do you think I do? So I checked my accounts and I realized that it's 500 ringgit there, $500 in ringgit in Malaysia. So I thought, okay, maybe I can loan it to her. And of course I asked her, hey, when can you pay me back? And she said, I will pay you back very quickly within 1 week. I just need it quick. I just need the money right now very quickly because I have something urgent. I just need your help. So okay, I give her the 500 ringgit. And then the next thing I know, when I call her back next week, the phone never pick up the phone, and I call back the following week, and then the phone seems to be no longer in service, and then I can never get a hold of her anymore. So I was like, oh no, come on, what happened to this? And then later I found from friends that, oh, she actually loaned money from other friends and things like that, and she take up to 1,000, 500 ringgit, 1,000, and also never returned their call. So for me, it's that, because during that time, the 500 ringgit for me was everything that I have, right? And for me, it's very important. Of course, years passed later on, about 4 or 5 years later, and I managed to save some money in my bank account. At the time, I have a few thousand right now, so it's 500 ringgit. It's no longer $500 is no longer a big deal. And then one fine day, I bang into her again and say, "Hey, you're here," things like that. And then I say, "Hey, let's catch up and let's have a drink," and things like that. And we actually make an appointment to go out for a drink. And then when we're having a drink, right, and then suddenly as we're talking about something, and suddenly it just strikes me, ting, hey, you owe me $500, right? It's in my mind, right? I'm just thinking, you owe me $500, right? So I don't know what to say. I don't know how to even say that. I don't know how to bring it up, but it's in my head, boggling, like disturbing me. But as a friend, it's 500 ringgit for me, or $500 in ringgit Malaysia. It's no longer a big deal anymore. But for me, I can still remember the feeling that you ran away with the 500 ringgit and never come back to me. Make sense to me? Okay. How many of you have this experience before? Yes, loan money and you're still feeling this thing. So this little thing that is happening in your head, right? You know, the things that you're talking to yourself, you know, the little voice we talk about, this little voice you talk about, and it's constantly telling you, hey, remember that? Hey, the $500 you still haven't paid back now. Hey, remember last time this guy or this girl, your girlfriend, break your heart before? Or you see somebody, or I see somebody that looks like my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, and I was like, oh, I can remember everything that I actually experienced before. You know the little feeling? So it actually appears in this form of little voice in your head. Isn't it true? The little voice? How many of you realize that you have a little voice in your head that you talk to yourself every day? How many? Do you realize that you're talking to yourself? Yeah. How many of you realize that maybe you have more than one? You have a lot more inside there, right? So I have a lot, and I have a lot constantly talking to myself, things like that, telling me what I should be doing, what should I not be doing, be careful this, what if this, and everything. It's always a lot of noise in my head. That's me. And this is very, very important because if you are not aware of this voice and now you are aware, right? So the question I want to ask you right now, and I want you to pay attention. Okay, the question I want to ask right now is that the little voice that you have in your head, right? Is it helping you? Is it helping you to move forward, or is it holding you back? Ask yourself, the voices inside your head, is it helping you to move forward, to go ahead and chase for your dreams and do whatever it takes, or is it holding you back most of the time? Which one? Holding you back or pushing you forward? So, yeah, write down in the chat box, yeah, in the comment. Is it really? Does it hold you back or move you forward? So from my experience training other people and even my own experience, right, working with thousands of people, most people have this similar issue. That means most of the time the little voice in their head is holding them back. They're holding back and telling them, don't do this, be very careful, don't do these things. For example, just say, if somebody would come to me again and say, hey, can you loan me 500 ringgit? If and most likely what will happen is that the little experience that I have will just pop out again. Oh, 500 ringgit. Oh, okay. Why do you need the 500 ringgit for? I will ask a lot more questions. I'll be more doubtful. I'll be more careful. I will not give the money straight away, even though I know I can help, but it's just that the little voice will tell me that, hey, be careful. Remember last time someone didn't pay you back, and it happens to be your good friend some more, and you trusted her or him, they still didn't pay you back. Then who is this person? How do you know you can trust? And this little voice is going to go crazy in your head. Does that make sense? Yeah. And this is the thing we talk about. And this little voice creates this thing called the emotions in the head. Yeah. Yeah. You know this Scooby-Doo? You've maybe see the story, the cartoons before, the Scooby-Doo, the angels and the angels and the demons. One will tell you that, hey, be careful, be a good boy, be a good guy, be a good girl. Whereas the other one tells you, go and do it, don't care, never mind, just do it, right? So this is a little battle in our head that we need to be in control of. So the fear that we have, we talk about here, is basically the little voice that we have, and we need to be very conscious. So if you're going to learn anything, I hope you have. How many of you here have picked up something very important right now? How many of you here have some aha moment that you think that, hey, you just realized something about yourself? Yeah. So the little voice that we have is one of the constant battle that we have in our head. And most of us, I believe, have this. For some of you, you may have a very strong little voice. You just tell you, just go and go and go. Okay? But majority of us have a little voice that creates a lot of fear in us, create a lot of resistance in us to tell us to be careful. Don't do this yet. Let's stop. Think about it. And as a result, we procrastinate and we don't do anything. Right? So these emotions has been created. The best formula I would like to bring it up is this. Emotions are very high. In the heat of the moment, when your little voice go crazy on you, and you're either frustrated, you're angry, you're fearful, you're feeling scared and everything, and your emotions are very high, very intense. What comes down? What's the effect when you have emotions, highly emotions? What comes down? Your intelligence, right? Isn't it true? So your intelligence actually comes down. Yeah. How many of you here have said something, as I said before, how many of you have said something in the heat of the moment when you're totally frustrated because somebody said something to you or did something to you and you just acted out saying something in the next 5 seconds, 15 minutes or 5 minutes or the next day you say, oh my goodness, why did I do that for? I shouldn't have done that. How many of you have been guilty about that? Yeah, I have done it before. I remember in my career one point, I was dealing with a vendor, and I was in the factory. I was a production engineer, and I was in the operation manager, and we are actually waiting for some supplies, important urgent supplies from our vendor and supplier, and he's taking so long. It's delaying after delaying, things like that. And I remember one time over the phone, I was so angry when I asked him, when are you delivering? He said that I need to send to you tomorrow. I said, tomorrow again? And I actually pick up the phone and I say the F word over the phone. I actually say, F you. And that word just come out from my mouth, right? Even though I tried to pull back immediately, but it went through the phone line all the way through to the other person. On the other line there, for the good 10 seconds, it was totally dead silence. And then the next thing I heard from him is that, Mr. Ha, you shouldn't use that word to me, And he just closed out the phone. And that's the end of our relationship that I've built so hard for about 1.5 years. Just because of one word I said, because I was so angry, and I just said something that if I were to think twice, think 3 times, I wouldn't have said it, but I've said the F word, and that's the end of the relationship. Yeah. So how many of you have actually experienced things like this? Yeah. In the heat of the moment, our intelligence are very, very low, and we act on emotions, and we do a lot of things because our subconscious mind, our little voice takes over, and we don't think. Yeah. And this is where the old wisdom of think twice before you say anything is so important, right? So remember, this is the formula, because this formula, high emotion, low intelligence, is something that when I learned about this, I realized that, okay, this is something I really need to remember. The moment when I am very angry, I better not do things in a very hastily manner. Don't act on things when I'm very frustrated. Don't act on certain things when I'm too sad. Even sometimes when you're usually on the negative emotion, but even sometimes when you're too happy, right? We talk about people in love. Yeah, how many guys, especially to the guys, how many of you have ever been so in love that you will do anything for the girl? You will drive 30 kilometers just to meet up with the girl and do whatever it takes, right? That's emotion, right? Our intelligence is extremely low. That's what it means. Yeah. So be mindful of this. Be very conscious of this. Understand where the little voice comes from, and this is what the little voice can actually create for us, and causing us to have very high emotion and very, very low intelligence. Yeah. So how do you actually increase your intelligence? By controlling your emotions. Right? Make sense? Yeah. So the other part here is that I want to bring it up is also this thing called truth and what's facts. Yeah. What's the truth? What's the facts? Yeah. So if I'm going to give you a simple little activity over, I'm going to try this activity with you right now. Yeah. So for example, if I were to ask, okay, I'm going to ask the ladies first. Yeah. Ladies in the ladies who are here with me right now. So if I ask you, what are your thoughts, right? What are your thoughts about men in general, right? What are your thoughts about men in general? So you can type in the comment, okay, but be kind a bit. You can type in the comment. What are some of your thoughts about men in general? Okay, whatever it is, you can be as real as possible, but be kind. Okay, don't scold unnecessarily. Okay, you will realize that there's all kinds of comments, right? Some people will say that men are good. Some people will say men is like, oh, men is all the same. They are all lousy, okay, things like that, because men are all cheaters and everything. Whereas there are some ladies who say that men are nice and things like that. You see two different versions or an extreme, broad extreme version of answers, right? And if I have to ask the same question to the men and say, what are your thoughts about ladies? Some will say the ladies are very complicated. Some will say they are very nice and pretty, are very soft. Things. A full range. And everyone's answers is true to them because of their own experience. You get what I'm saying? It's true to them. But the question I want to ask is that, is it a fact that all men are like this? It's not right. It's not right. Because to me, some ladies are, maybe to me the ladies are very nice and kind, but to some other people, ladies are all, especially things, have you heard before that pretty ladies are high maintenance, for example, right? So because for him, he experienced all the pretty ladies are very, very high maintenance and maybe very cocky, things like this. But not true, right? So there's truth and facts. You get my point? There are things that's very truth. What's the truth is your own experience. Facts are facts. For example, if I have to take a pen up and I let go my pen, what will happen? It will drop. There's no doubt about it. Whoever takes out the pen and let it go, it will drop. As long as you're in planet Earth, all around anywhere in planet Earth, it will drop. And that's a fact. Nobody can deny it, right? But the truth is that if maybe some of you say that I throw the pen, it was flying around, maybe it's true for you because you have experienced something paranormal, right? But maybe true to you, but it's not a fact. So the question here is that the little voice that you have in your mind, in your head that's always going on, is giving you advice constantly, right? Is it a truth? Is it a truth or is it a fact? You need to know this because the question here is that what are you really assuming? Because a lot of the experience that you have is only true to your experience, but it may not be necessarily. It could be a different experience if you can find a different person or different environment. Make sense to you? Yeah. So you need to know what are you assuming, because a lot of times as leaders, right, and for us to move forward, right, a lot of assumption in our head because of little voice is giving you a lot of from your own experience that you have. We all make certain assumption, and this assumption becomes a belief in our life that carries us and brings us forward in life. That's how we all say sometimes, like we tend to say things like, oh, the Asians are like this, or the Americans are like this. This is the Americans, and these are the Europeans, and these are the white people, and these are the people who are black people. No, we tend to stereotypes because we have certain assumption of them that they are like this or they should be like this. And it's based on our own experience in life, right? So, but we need to actually verify every assumption. Is it really, really true? So I give you a very good example. I just give you an analogy. Assuming that I'm born in Malaysia, that's where I'm from, my country, Malaysia. But just say I'm born in Malaysia, and then I was very quickly, when I was a baby, adopted by a family in, say, South Africa. also in Africa, for example, right? Let's use Africa, and maybe raised by a tribe, tribes over there, and we live the way they are. So, do you think I am, as a Malaysian here, will grow up as like a Malaysian, or behaving like a Malaysian, or will I be behaving just the way an African or South African will be? Yeah, I believe that I'll be just like them. And does it mean that Asians are the same? No, right? It depends on how we are bringing up based on the environment that we're in, and that is the experience that we have. So we cannot, when we make a certain assumption, it's basically based on a certain belief that we have. The belief that we have on certain things that this is how life is, or this is how life should be, because this is my experience. And we tend to impose on other people. But we need to really, really be careful, because it may not be necessarily true. It's not a fact. So, as a leader, right, you need to know that assumptions are leadership quicksand. A lot of times in my experience, I see that a lot of leaders make this mistake because they make a lot of assumptions. They jump to conclusion based on their own experience, and they apply that to everybody, but it may not be necessarily true. So if you're going to learn anything from here, I want you to pick up one thing, is that I want you to actually learn how to manage your little voice, because it may not be true. It could be a different version of things. If you really want to be open to it, you want to be conscious about how you're thinking and how you're actually acting, what are the conversations in your head, and you want to manage the little voice inside. And to actually question them, who are you? Why are you thinking this way? Why are you telling me this? Where is the facts? Why do you say this? You have to question yourself this. Yeah? So the thing is that most decisions are made at a very subconscious level. Yeah. How many of you can relate to what I'm just saying, right? Do you actually be able to get some kind of aha moment on this? The little voice that you're telling yourself? Who is this little voice in your head? Yeah? Make sense? So the question now I would like to get you all to ask is this, yeah? Whenever you wanted to move ahead and get the results, how many of you here want to create the results that you want, and create the positive results that you really, really desire? Everybody wants, right? So the question that you need to be asking yourself when you are not moving forward, or you are trying to get somewhere and you're not going anywhere, you need to ask yourself, am I the problem? Okay, am I the problem? Where am I? In other words, I want you to ask this question yourself in a very, very straightforward manner. Because when I ask this question to myself, right, I become very conscious, and I ask myself, so what is it that what's the problem with me? What can I change? What is the little voice is telling me that maybe I need to question it a bit before I actually decide and just run with it? Yeah, because it's so important for us right now is to be able to get clarity on what we really want. And what we really want, the moment we think of something that we want, right, the first thing that you may experience is that the little voice will start to jump up and start to say things to you. So how many of you here would like to know how you can actually manage this little voice? Do you want to know how to manage this little voice, the little voice in here? You want to know how to control them? I don't know whether you can really control it, but you want to be able to manage it so that you know that you don't really just do what they say. Yeah. So this is one technique, very important. I find that it's very, very true for me, and it's working very well for me, is to celebrate wins. You want to intentionally go out, do something, create wins for yourself. Okay? Create some wins for yourself, create some success for yourself, and you want to celebrate it. The more you celebrate it, right, the more you get confidence, right? Every win that you are able to generate, will it give you more confidence? Okay? Every success that you're able to generate, no matter how big or small, will it create some kind of confidence for you? So when you have better confidence, right, do you think it actually helps in controlling or managing the little voice in your head? It actually proves to them and say, hey, I can do this, right? I've done this before, right? Even though you've only done it once out of maybe 100 times that you fail, but the one time that you manage to do it gives you the confidence and the hope to say that, hey, if I can do this once, can I do it again? Isn't it true? And by having this little experience, right, you can actually start to question the little voice when they tell you things like, hey, are you sure? No, you fail all the time, you fail 100 times, no. And you can say that, hey, but I've tried this one time and it works. And that will give you the courage or the confidence, right, to actually do it again. So I want you to actually from now onwards, if you can, to actually go back, whatever that you have done something, whenever you've done something and you create some kind of wins for yourself, I want you to celebrate. Okay? And when you celebrate big time, you just enjoy, good job, tap yourself in the back, or give yourself a high five, or get to your friends and give me a high five, and you really celebrate it, and really own the success, own the celebration, because this is what you really need to actually reprogram yourself here. And tell your little ones that, hey, I can do this. I've done once, at least I can maybe do it again. And the more you do, right, you actually accumulate a lot more wins, a lot more positive thoughts, a lot more positive reinforcement to tell your little ones that, hey, I can actually do it. I'm good enough. I'm strong enough. I'm able to do this. And that builds your confidence as you go along. Does it make sense to you? Yeah. If it makes sense, right, if you have friends beside you, just give it a high five, say, yeah, it makes sense to me. Yeah, give a high five. Yes. Yeah. Right? So celebrate all wins, and then to constantly tell ourselves that, hey, we can do this. So right now, why do you want to do this? Because success breeds confidence, and confidence breeds more success, and it's going to be a cycle. You want to purposefully go and create success. And a lot of times, right, you want to be thinking this way. I want you to be conscious that a lot of times you are achieving. You are achieving a lot of times. I mean, you are actually making progress all the time, but you are ignoring it. You think it's very small, it's okay, you ignore it. Okay, how many of you are like me? I'm a kind of perfectionist. In the past, right, I've been recovering about it. Okay, but in the past, I used to be this way. Whenever I make whenever I create a small little win, or I get some kind of win, I was like, okay, it's just a small one, it's okay. Maybe I'm just lucky. I'll just ignore it. Or whenever I get it, it's like, okay, never mind, it's very small, no need to, it's just very small, no need to celebrate. I want to celebrate when I get a big win, then I will celebrate big times. But how often do you get a very big win? Not all the time, right? But we always get a lot of wins, small wins along the way. But I find myself ignoring it all the time. However, on the other side, what I find myself doing, without me realizing, is only when I study it, is that whenever I make a small mistake, I whack myself, I hit myself, I beat myself. For example, if I do a mathematical calculation and 4 times 2 is 8, right? I say it's 6. How can I? 4 times 2 is 6. Come on, you stupid fella, you lousy fella. How come you're an idiot? Things like that. I'll be hitting myself, scolding myself. When I do something wrong, things like that, I'll be telling myself, how can I make this mistake? I'll be scolding myself, even in my mind and everything. And this as a result, right, it's actually it's a negative celebration, right? You're actually celebrating negative. What happens in your mind? You was like, oh, this is bad. I'll remember this. So every time you face a similar issue, your little voice comes up and let you know, hey, remember this? On the 4th of August, 2019, you did this thing, you actually highlight to you and tell you to be careful, don't do this, don't do that, what if this, what if that. That's because we never celebrate things on the positive side, we celebrate things on the negative side. But if you start to practice this on the other flip side and start to celebrate every small win and start to accumulate all the small wins, you have been directly telling your little voice, right, hey, I've also been very successful in certain areas. I did not fail all the time. I did not screw up all the time. I'm not that bad all the time. I'm also pretty good most of the time. Yeah? So we need to do this consciously and do this continuously, because success breeds more confidence, and confidence will breed more success. Yeah? This is a cycle. So I've been talking about this for a good time, right? So what is it all about? Why do we need to study our brain, understanding this, the 5 traits of the leadership, about clarity, building confidence, having the courage, having the commitment, having the controlling our little voice? What's in it for me? Why do we need to know this? So it's back to this topic of leadership and success, right? How many of you here want to be successful? How many of you want to create the success that you want? Everybody wants, right? So it's so important that in order to create the success that you want, I would say that we need to be the leader that you want to be. Remember the small guy to the big guy? Yes. So what's in it for you? Because there's 2 types of problems in the world. Okay? If you want to create whatever success that you want, the money that you want, the lifestyle that you want to buy the car that you want, okay? You need to be able to solve problems. Yeah. And there's 2 types of problems in the world. Okay? There are complicated problems and they are complex problems. Either way, it's a problem. Right? So what's the difference between this thing called complicated and complex? Complicated is what? What do you think is complicated? Yeah. Complicated is things that it requires maybe technical know-how. Like for example, as a doctor, if you're a doctor, in order for you to operate on a person or a surgery, right, you need to know how to do it specifically, how to actually cut open somebody else and how to stitch it back, what you need to do, things like that. These are all very technical things. Or if you want to build a car or repair a car, you need to understand the mechanics behind the car and all the things, right? It's very complicated. And this is things that we need to study, maybe you need to have some kind of knowledge and everything. However, complex problems may not be necessarily complicated. Complex is where there's a lot of people come together, maybe a lot of people are involved, maybe a lot of systems are involved, certain processes are involved, and maybe a combination of people, process, all jump up together and makes it very complex for us to solve. Yeah. And this is where, for us, if you want to create the results for you, either in your company or in your life, most of the problems that we have, do you think they are complicated or complex? Yeah. Okay. They are both, right? Okay. But which one is harder to solve? Complicated things or complex things? So my experience is complex problems. Right? Usually dealing with people, dealing with humans are very complex, because if you talk to one person, you talk to another person, we need to use different techniques to actually influence them to get things done, right? So human beings are very complex, especially when the elements of people inside, and then processes and system and organization and everything all inside, it becomes very complicated, even though the problems can be very simple. So now, here is a situation I want to bring it up to you, because if you want to create the success you want, this is where I want you to really take a look how you can actually understand this little thing I'm going to share with you, and how you can actually make full use of this, because you have to do with all the 5 traits I just talked to you about, the 5 traits of leadership or a champion, and how to handle leader voice, how you're going to apply this on our day-to-day life, right? And I share with you this thing through a little story that I have. And I first started off as an engineer when I first came out, when I graduated at the age of 23, and I got my first job. After about a year and a half, I realized that I'm a production engineer. I was supposed to take care of about 150 in the production. And how many of you here are working, right? How many of you here have ever complained about the company or complained about your bosses before? How many? Have you? Or is it just me? Just me, right? You all don't do it, right? But most of us, as I know, even my colleagues, they're always complaining about the bosses for not doing this, or complaining about company not providing this, the system's not good, and this is not good, how come this way, how come that way. There's always complaining. It's never ending issues and things like that. So one day I remember about a year and a half later, I find myself also complaining about that, and I was complaining about the bosses. And this one fine day, I remember very clearly, I was complaining about the company, especially I'm complaining about the GM, our general manager. Okay, his name is Mr. Ho. Okay, his name is Mr. Ho. He's one of my mentors, somebody that I respect very much, and also my manager, my direct manager. His name is Vivi. Somebody that I really, like, my first 2 mentors in my career at the beginning. Somebody I respected very much. But on that day, I remember I was complaining to my boss. I said, "Hey, boss, production is having a lot of problem right now. And the supervisors are telling me that, hey, the equipment is really spoiled. Why are you not buying yet? And yet you are chasing for more output and production, things like that. But we are not able to do it because this equipment is down, is broken. We need to buy a new one." So this equipment that we have is actually a simple vibration machine, right? And it costs about 20,000. The 20,000 is not a lot of money for a company to actually spend. However, when you never budget for things in terms of accounting, if you never budget for the purchase, right? So for the general manager, my GM, Mr. Ho, who have to justify to get approval for them to spend the 20,000. That's 20,000. So, and that takes up a little issue, because they have to go up to all the way to the HQ, the big company, mother company, to get approval, even though for a general manager, it's not able to do it. So it's been dragging on for almost close to a month right now. and constantly my boss is chasing me to create more production output, and I'm not able to do it because my supervisor are not able to do the job, or my workers are not able to do the job because we don't have the machine. So I remember the night I went up to my boss. I say, "Boss, what's the problem? Come on, we need to buy it." Oh yeah, and my boss was telling me, my factory manager was telling me, he's saying that, yeah, I told the GM already, but he's saying that he's pending approval from the directors. So we are waiting. I said, but it's already 4 weeks. How long are you going to wait? We cannot wait. Yeah. And he's telling me a lot of issues about company policies and guidelines, and red tapes and everything. And I was very, very frustrated about it. I was actually complaining to him, saying, hey, how come, man? It's so difficult to do. I was going to this blaming and justifying mode. And just as I was doing this, and my boss was also having fun complaining about my GM, and in comes my GM. It was, to our surprise, he came into the office, and here he was there coming in, and we were talking about him, right? And it's very funny, right? When we are talking about somebody actually comes, right? And he came in and he's saying that, hey, what are you two talking about? Then we were like, okay, no, nothing much. We changed the subject, but he kind of suspect that we are talking about him. So he started asking, hey, so so what's the problem right now? Any feedback and any reports for me? So then I take the opportunity to actually tell him and say, hey, Mr. Ho, you know about the machine, the 20,000. When are you going to get the approval? Because we need it very urgently. And to my surprise, even the GM himself was also complaining, saying that, yeah, the company, we are now waiting for approval, and he's blaming the system and everything, but cannot even solve the problem. So being a young engineer at the time, only 1.5 years old, being very naive, I take the opportunity to actually ask the GM and say, hey, Mr. Ho, you are a GM and you cannot even solve this problem, then how? I actually asked him directly, you are the GM, you can't even solve the problem, then how? What do you expect me to do? Right? And this is when I actually have my biggest learning ever in my life. And I remember that all the time, it changes the way I look at things. My GM was very, very nice. He listened to me and said, okay, good, very good. I hear what you're saying. Tomorrow I'll try to chase for it and get the approval done as soon as possible. I'll try my best. And then he asked me this question. He said, can I ask you a question? I said, yes. And from the tone of his voice, I realized that something is not very right. And I asked him, so what is it? And he said, if there's no problem in the production, right, something is right, something is not so right? I mean, in the production, can you expect there's no problem? I said, no, sure, no problem, yes. So just imagine, if there's no problem in the company, do you think if the company doesn't experience any problems, right, it's very weird, right? I say, yeah, it's weird, sure, no problem, we have to solve it, good. So just imagine, just put yourself in my position. Okay? If there's no problem in the factory, so do you think I will need you? He actually tapped his hands on my shoulder and said, do you think I need you? And he pointed to my boss, and your boss, here. Well, that moment, can you imagine that? He actually tapped and says, if there's no problem in the factory, do you think I will need you here and the boss to be here? I don't really need you anymore. So that moment, right, even though I actually feel that he basically gave me a big tight slap on my face, palm. Even though he didn't slap me, but I actually feel that he just gave me a big tight slap for opening my mouth and ask stupid question. Yeah? But I have a big learning. Okay, the learning was, I just realized that I am hired for a reason. Okay, I am hired as an engineer in the factory for a reason. My job is to solve problems for the company. Okay, if there's no problem to solve, then they don't need me. Does it make sense? Yeah. So this is the situation, and because of that, right, it changes the way I look at things. And the next following day, I will go down the factory and I start asking all the supervisors and all the factory workers, say, how can I help you? What problems do you want me to solve for you? And here I would like to present to you what my experience in this little illustration, right? So please pay attention here, because this will be a big aha moment for me. It was a big aha moment for me, and I hope that can be something important for you. Yeah. So this is the problem cone. Okay, this is the cone. So if I draw a little scale here, an arrow, this is the size of the problem. It means as we go up higher and higher, the problem become bigger and bigger. Getting me? Yeah. And this is U, small u, and this is the big U. And just go higher and higher, you want to be bigger and bigger, right? So let's say at the beginning, I want you to refer back to a long time ago when you first started working or wherever you are. When you first join the company and your boss will give you a first task, right? Or first task to do. And they say it's a problem, right? So problem number one. Once you have solved problem number one, what happens? What do you get? You get problem number two. Yes? Is problem number two bigger or smaller? Tends to be bigger, right? Most of the time, right? So it gets bigger. And when you have solved problem number two, what happens? You're going to get bigger problems, right? Problem number three, it gets bigger. When you solve problem number three, you get problem number four. So does your boss ever give you problems that are smaller and smaller, or just maintain at problem number one? Most likely no, right? It's going to give you bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So you tend to do bigger and bigger, handle bigger and bigger problems, and you have to solve them, right? And sometimes you get very frustrated. So sometimes you get to the point of problem, say for example, problem level number 5, and you're like, oh no, this is I said, stop, don't give me anymore. I'm very frustrated because I don't know how to handle anymore. And this is where the emotional ceiling is, because you are handling bigger things that you don't even know. It could be things that you do not know how to do anymore. It's becoming too complicated for you. Or it could be that your little ones go crazy and say things like, I'm not going to do anymore because I'm not getting paid. My salary is not getting being paid high enough to be handling such a big problem. This is not the problem for me. I don't know how to solve it. I can't even do it. And you're complaining, you're in denial, you're justifying, right? These are emotional feelings. Has it ever happened to you before? Yes? You have, right? So this is the thing. However, remember, you need to take responsibility, right? Remember the behavior during crisis or problems. So you don't want to be in denial. You don't want to be in blaming mode. You don't want to be justifying. You don't want to quit, right? The only way to do is to keep moving forward and be responsible. So you want to break the emotional ceiling and keep moving higher. So problem 6 and keep going. Yeah. Ultimately, you want to be able to get bigger and bigger, right? Isn't it true? Yeah. Would you agree with me that the bigger the problems that you can solve, the more value you are worth to the company? Does it make sense? You answer me in the chat comment. The bigger the problems you're able to solve, the more value you are to the company. Is it true? Yes? Yeah, right? So this is the thing. So if I put another scale here, right? Just say it's the size of you. Say the small guy to big guy. This is the size of you. Yeah? And I want you to consider this. When you solve problem number one, what level are you? What level of person are you? Level 1. Make sense? You're level 1. You solve problem number 1, now you are level 1. Until you solve problem number 1, you are not even level 1, right? So if you solve problem number 2, what level are you? Level 2. Got it? You solve problem number 3, you're level 3. Yes? You solve problem number 5, you're level 5. If you solve problem number 8, you're level 8, and so forth, right? And so, yes? Okay, now, so the question now is this. I want you to consider this, okay? You were once in level 1. So maybe now you're in level 5. When you are at level 5 and you're looking down at level 1 problem, is it a big problem or a small problem for you? Is it big or small? Okay, you're level 5, trying to solve level 1 problems. Small problem, right? It's like, okay, easily I can do it, right? But if you maybe you have this experience before. Have you ever have maybe a junior staff or your someone younger than you and either in your workplace or maybe in school, they came to you and say, yeah, I got this problem, I don't know how to solve this issue. And here you are at level 5 saying that it's so easy, level 1, just do like this, just do this, don't disturb me, just do it very easily. No need to worry, just do it. Right? Have you ever reacted to this way before? Yeah, that you are level 5, looking at level 1 is not an issue. But that person who came to you for help, he's like, I don't know how to solve. I really do not know how to solve. Because you were once at level 1, but you have forgotten. But you are now at level 5. And looking at level 1, it's not a problem. So I'll give you another example. If you have upgraded yourself to level 10, okay, you're at level 10 right now, and you're looking down at level 5, is it a big problem or a small problem? Level 5 is a small problem, yes? But looking at level 1, if you're a level 10 person looking at level 1, is it a big problem or a small problem? There's no problem. For you, it's not even a problem, right? But level 1 is still the same level 1 problem, right? For someone who has never solved level 1 problem before, to them it's very, very difficult. But once you have gone up to level 10, level 1, 2, and 3 is not even a problem for you. In fact, say, come, don't even disturb me, find someone else to do it, right? So now, this is the thing I want to highlight to you. The problem 1 or problem 2 or problem 3 is still the same problem. What has changed? The thing that has changed is you. You have changed. Make sense? You have grown. You have grown to be a bigger person. From a small little guy or person to a bigger person. You have grown in terms of wisdom, knowledge, experience, skills, and everything. You have grown. And as a result, you are able to solve bigger and bigger and bigger problems. So now, if you want to create success for yourself, make more money, for example, if you're working, okay, or you want to have more value to the company you serve, or if you are in business, you want to create more value to the marketplace, you need to solve more problems and the bigger problems for people. The bigger the problems you're able to solve, or the more problems you're able to solve for more people, this is where your worth is, and you'll be paid accordingly to that. So if you can serve more clients, solve more problems or bigger problems for your clients, or maybe solve more problems and bigger problems for your team, this is where you are worth. That's why we have managerial, senior manager, and senior managers are paid more. People who are able to solve bigger problems for the companies or their clients are paid more, or in terms of bonuses or whatever. Make sense to you? Yeah. So the conclusion is this: the bigger the problems you solve, the more money you will make, or the more money you are worth to the company that you're working for. Or if you are in business, you can charge more because you are solving bigger problems. Make sense to you? So this is what I want to bring up to you. And in order to do this, it requires you to have the 5 traits of leadership, to have a clarity on what do you need to be doing, what do you need to solve, what kind of problems to solve, how do you play at a bigger level. You need to have the confidence to handle bigger problems, because if you are not willing or you're afraid to even solve bigger problems, then how are you going to increase your value? How are you going to increase the money that you want to make, or how are you going to get to the dreams that you want to get? Make sense to you? Does it make sense? Yeah. Or if you don't even have courage to even take on bigger challenges and try it and solve the big problems, and you're running away from problems, it's not going to be helpful. So what's actually holding us back is the fear that we have. We need the 5 traits there to actually be able to control yourself and have the commitment to do whatever it takes and get the things done. Yeah. Make sense to you? Yeah. So with that, it's about coming to the end. So what I hope today I've given you some knowledge and skills and some tools, right, for you to be the leader who is responsible and resourceful, so that you can create the results and outcome that you want. Okay, you need to be the leader, because the leader is the one that be willing to step up and take the responsibility and go and handle and solve problems in a very resourceful manner. So this is what I want to do. How many of you here have learned something valuable today? Yeah. Has it been something valuable for you? Has there been some kind of aha moment that you actually experienced from this little talk that I have? Yeah. Is it something that's valuable for you to take home? Yeah. Yeah. So ultimately, it's one thing, is to take charge. If you are a leader take charge. You are the captain of the ship. Okay? The ship could be your body, your mind. You need to be in charge first. If you can't even take care of your own mind and your own thinking, right, then who's in control? Someone else is in control. So very important first thing to take care of your own mind. The little voice that you have, learn to manage it. The first thing you want to do is be conscious first. Who are you talking to? Who are these little voice that you are talking to? Okay, take charge of them. Start to question, who are you? Where are you coming from? Don't assume. Don't just jump to a certain belief that this is how it should be. Study yourself and why are you doing what you're doing. And very often, you know that you should be doing certain things, but you're not doing it. And this is where the little voice is there meddling with yourself. So take charge. Okay, be responsible and take charge. Don't go into denial mode. Don't go into blame mode. Too often you find yourself being there. Get out of it and try to be responsible and see what do you have to change? What do you have to change? How can you make a difference? How can you move forward in a positive manner? Right? So I will leave you with this. Very, very important is to actually take charge of yourself, take control, Remember the 5 traits. Okay, have clarity. If you're not sure what you want, first thing to do is take charge and ask yourself this question: what do you really, really want in life? What do you want to achieve? And why do you want what you want? Okay, and then build the confidence around it, have the courage around it, set commitment, okay, be committed to it, be determined and have commitment, and have control. Okay, so with this, I think I've come to the end. I hope you have learned something valuable. How many of you have learned something valuable today? Yes. If you have, I think we can actually, I'm done here. We can actually have some Q&A. You can ask me any question that you want. I will answer you to the best that I can. And I hope that I'll be able to give you some more value. Right? That's it. So I pass it back to IGP, the International Global Professionals team. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you for everybody for being here. I can have a little Q&A with you. Hello? IGP team, I'm finished. Okay, you can ask questions. Let me see. I'll try to answer any questions. Do you have any question for me? And okay, Joanne Grace asked how to be always confident. Good question. Thank you so much for that. Okay, how many of you here want to know how to always stay confident? It's a very, very valid question. Let me put this way. I think confidence can be created. What you need to do is that you can never be always be confident, but what you can actually uh, train your mind to always act it out and be confident is about how you think. So one thing I would like to encourage you all to do is that start to create wins for yourself. Every little small win that you do, if you, for example, right, just say if you have done something well and you think you deserve the recognition, you deserve to actually give yourself a pat in your back, right? Just give yourself a pat, say, yeah, well done. Okay, or you can go up to a friend and say, give yourself a high five. Let me tell you, maybe I can share something. In the past, right, when I first started off as doing sales, I never liked to do sales. I was so fearful of doing sales. And one of the tasks for me is that to go outside and actually do cold calls, make 100 cold calls, give example. And for me to pick up phone and to actually to make a call was so terrifying for me. I remember the first one I did, I press the number. Just to press the call button also take me a long time. I'll make a lot of excuses for myself. I'll walk up and down. I press call and then I off it off. And I'll tell myself maybe not the right time. It's always because I don't have confidence. But then what happens is that because I have very good friends who are also in the same program with me, is telling me, come on, just do, we challenge each other. So when I've made one call and I managed to successfully set an appointment to meet up with them, right? Then I will go up to my friend and say, hey, give me a high five, I just make an appointment. I will just give high five to each other because I celebrate the one win that I have. I've successfully made a call and I've successfully created an appointment as well. So there's 2 wins for me. So I'll just high five there, things like that, and they will be actually in the chat group there. Oh, hi, I actually make a call, yay! They'll have a lot of high five, a lot of emoji and things like that. And I will also pat myself in the back, you're well done. And this gives me the confidence to say, I've done one. I'll try another one. Of course, the second one, I'm still very fearful, but I keep doing until about 30, 40, 50 calls, right? It's like, hey, I'm getting better at it because I've done about 30, 40, 50 calls and I still haven't got nobody slammed the phone down on me. And I find that I was able to create appointments. And this is one way. That means I start to celebrate every single calls that I made successfully. Make sense to you? So this one way to build confidence. Can you be always confident? I don't know. No, you can actually try to be, but you can actually create confidence along the way. Yeah. I hope I understand. I hope I answer your questions. Yeah. So Chemba Zahiro, okay, say, do all leaders become successful? success is defined by depending on what you want. So it's go back to clarity that do you know exactly what you want? Yeah. So other people may define your success to be highly successful or not. Really, really depends on other people. But more importantly, is yourself. If you have achieved what you want, or to set what you just if you achieve what you want to achieve, right, then you're successful. For some people, they want a certain income level. Maybe to them, to get $3,000 a month is enough. For some people, $1,000 a month is enough. For some people, 3,000 is not enough. I need to have $10,000 a month. But success is really depends on what you really want and why. Okay? For some people, if they get 10,000 or they are very, very highly successful, they get all the things they want, they have their Ferrari or got whatever things, right? But they may not be very happy as well. So how do you define success? I think the definition of success is back to you yourself. What do you really want? That means how do you define success for yourself? So it's not about what other people think, it's about what you think. If you think you are successful, you are, right? So I believe all leaders can be successful. Yeah. So what is strategic leadership? I don't understand this. Can maybe someone explain? What is strategic leadership? Okay, I'll come back to that maybe. So the difference between leader and top management. Okay. I also train on leadership management as well. So leaders and management, I think the best way to answer this is that whether are they doing things for the sake of doing things, or are they doing things for doing things? I mean, doing things in a way that it should be done. That means, are they just following procedures and just management and just this is what I should be doing and just do it? As a leader, right, I would say that leaders are someone who need to do what's right. That means if it's right, even though the policies and certain rules are not so favorable, but in a certain situation like right now in the crisis, COVID-19 crisis, and because we are not prepared for it, and it's so uncertain, there's so many things are changing. As a leader, we need to find what's the right thing to be doing right now for the best interest of the company, for the people, or for the family. So a leader is somebody who are willing to go out all the way and do what it has to do the right way, and not just following procedures. Whereas the management could be just somebody who just because I need to do this. It's my duty. It's my responsibility. I need to be doing this thing. Otherwise, I'm not in compliance. Yeah. So a leader will really take leads and do what's necessary. So I hope I answered the question. So tips to strengthen our confidence. Yeah, like I say, the best way that I always like to do is that create wins. That means you purposely go out and create small wins, no matter how small. Okay, confidence are built on success. Remember, success breeds confidence. Confidence breeds success. You want to create success. Every success. Let me ask you this question, Prima. Right. So if you try something and it becomes successful, and you actually, I've done it. Do you get more confident? Definitely, right? You're more confident, right? And that is one thing that you want to be building. So you keep on building. Every time you are successful, right? Every time you create wins for yourself, right? Every time that you win, right? You will be more and more confident with yourself because you have done it successfully. So one best way is actually create wins. Purposely go out and create small wins. Take small steps and create wins. Intentionally create wins. Yeah. I hope that I answer your question. How to unite the gap between faction in one organization? This is a different topic for today for this. But the faction between one organization, I would say you need to first understand what's the real faction behind it. A lot of times it's because of human emotions, because somebody feels that they are not treated correctly, maybe. That's why it's a faction. There's a little conflict. So we need to create a little win-win for both sides. So I would say in a nutshell, because this program doesn't cover this question anyway, but I think in a nutshell, you need to have a lot more empathy for each other, about understanding, listening to each other, understanding each other's feeling. Why are they acting this way? Why are they angry? Remember, high emotion, low intelligence. And when they have certain fraction, right, usually you know that they shouldn't be doing this, but they're doing that. they should be talking to each other, but they are not. So you want to understand what's the emotion behind them and to address that emotion. So if you, as a leader, if you are able to listen to them, have a lot of empathy, create trust and respect for each other, and to be able to understand and listen up to each other first before you give them a solution, I think that can actually help. A lot of times there's a lot of friction between that because of that. How can I be an effective leader to my colleague who's not working so hard like me? Oh, very nice question. Lead by example, perhaps. The best way I know is that sometimes we tell people what to do, they may not listen. Okay, very simply put, how many of you like to have other people? How many of you like to be changed? It means uh, uh, people want to change you, right? You like people to change you. You wouldn't want to change, right? But you want to change other people, right? Right? So this is the problem right? In the society, in the organization. We always say that they need to change, but the fact is that we need to change first, right? The best control is that we change ourselves, we change our own thoughts, our own little voices, and that we change. And when we can change, we can actually adapt to other people. Because insisting other people to change, right, it's going to be very difficult. But we can change first. So the best way to do is that you change and be the leader or be the person that you want and start to lead by example. Does it make sense to you? Yeah. So show them by example, lead by, be the boss, be the person that you want to be the person that you want him to be. Maybe even teach them how to be that and work with them and not just tell them that they need to change, that they're not good enough. Probably because they're really trying as much as they can. How to overcome the hurdles during speaking to audience? You mean fear of speaking in the public? Yeah, I assume there is. Okay, how to overcome the fear of speaking in the public? Okay, as a trainer, speaker, it's really about nine years right now. But I remember the first time when I started this journey to go into as a trainer, I was totally not comfortable at all. Again, it's about creating wins. So that means you need to start small, do some small things, give some small talk to small group of people if you have to, or practice first. And it means a lot of practicing and try to do it and create wins. I remember the first time I did my first live, right? I was shaking like crazy, but I do it. But once I've done it, I was like, yes, I've done it, and I celebrate the wins. And I remember I've done this before, maybe I can do it better, and I keep improving as I go along. So I've actually improved over the last 9 years. This year is always better than the year before. The year before is always better than the year before. So and this is how you keep improving on the small steps. So again, creating wins. Purposely go and do more talks if you have to. Go and sign up for Toastmasters if you have to. Go and sign up for some organization that forces you to create some meetings or do some kind of speaking to the audience. Small groups first and create wins as you go along. Then slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? Does it make sense to you? How to avoid procrastination as a leader? Okay, this is also you all procrastinate, right? Most of us. I procrastinate as well. And usually, I find that I procrastinate because there's a lot of fear because I'm not confident enough. So back to the 5 traits. Remember, if you are truly confident, do you think you will procrastinate? If you are truly confident, you're not. I think if you are truly confident, you will just go and do it already, right? So that means there's a lot of fear. So in the presence of fear, the only way to overcome this is actually to have courage. So you need to build on courage because again, it's about creating wins. So take small steps and start to do small things and create more confidence. If you are procrastinating, it's usually because you are not confident at all. You do not know what to do. You do not have the clarity. That's why you just don't know what to do. You just stop doing it even though you think you want to have this, but you're not really sure. So have the clarity first, and then build on the confidence. And, and as you take on bigger challenges, right, you will always be procrastinating anyway. So you want to be able to build on the confidence, build on the wins, have courage. So always constantly practicing the 5 traits. Right? Does it make sense? How can I overcome false blame? Someone blame you, is it? Okay, if someone is blaming you, then I think one thing to do, the best way to do is that be the leader you want to be, and to walk the talk. That means be the role model you want to be. If people are blaming you, most likely either they misunderstand you. They don't understand that you've been doing certain things because you never communicated it to them, maybe, or maybe you didn't, whatever you're doing, they didn't see it, or you think they should see it, but they never see it. So what you want to do is that you actually want to intensify your effort to show them whatever you're doing, you're really doing it. You want to be able to walk the talk and be the leader, be the role model, and show the results. The best form of I think the best form of compliments is by results. The best form of showing proof, right, is by results. If you can actually show them the results that you have in a very positive manner, right, there's no reason to be blaming you, unless it's really, really something bad that you have to work on. Right? So be the role model. I think that's a good thing. So what's the difference between leadership and boss? Okay, I think this is very similar to the question about leadership and management. So I think a boss should be a leader, and not just somebody who just stand there looking down and just tell people what to do. Again, you need to be a role model. If you want your staff or your team to do what you want them to do, you should also be doing that as well. You need to be the role model for people to see. Again, the best way to do is like doing it by results, because sometimes talk is cheap. Talk is so easy. I can just say, so easy to say it out, but can you actually do it? So you need to be able to lead by example and show people that you can do it, and not just only do it once, you do it again. And when you can do it again and again, now the question now as a leader or a boss, right? Can you now even teach to your team or your colleague how to do it in the way you want it, how to do it effectively? If they can actually experience that, right, then they find that you are a good leader. And as a boss also, you should be a good leader. I think today, you cannot be the boss that just sit down there and just tell people to do. It doesn't really work like that. I hope I answered the question. How can I inspire my senior co-workers to become effective leaders? I think this is very similar. Similarly, I think role modeling is the best. If you are inspire my senior, okay, you're senior. You're the junior, right? If you want to inspire up, right? To me, sometimes you want to inspire a boss, right? Then you want to be able to show them. Again, the only answer I have is role modeling. That means you show them how to be the boss that you want to be. It means you be the boss that you hope your senior co-workers to be. Okay? So sometimes we can never change people. Some senior workers may not want to change, doesn't matter. So for you, you do whatever you can to manage to do your work and be the effective leader to your staff or your team or your juniors, right? So eventually, when you went up to become a senior, you are the seniors, right? Then you can lead from there, right? Because when you are peers, right, sometimes it's very difficult, but you can inspire them by leading by example, showing positive results and really doing things whatever, going beyond and showing them that it can be done. Does it make sense? Yeah. Right. How far success is dependent on leadership on an organization? Okay, my experience, right? If you are in an organization working for people, leadership is key. Okay? If you want to climb up the ladder, it's all about leadership. If you want to create results for your department or for your team, it's about leadership. If you want to create results for yourself, it's about leadership, because leadership is about responsibility, right? If you are not willing to be responsible, then I would say, what kind of leaders are you? Yeah. Because us, when we are looking up to our leaders on top, we expect them to be responsible, we expect them to solve problems. So there's only two things I see in an organization. If you want to be effective and you want to be successful, right, you want to be able to influence people as a leader, and then number two, be able to solve problems in the company. Because leaders are expected to know how to solve problems, and they are expected to be able to be responsible to do something. Yeah? Does it make sense? Right? Are leaders born or created? Good question. The question has been in the debate for so long, right? My experience, I can only speak from my experience. I think some leaders are totally born. They are born very charismatic, and the moment they stand up, people like they like them. People just follow them, right? People like I don't know, maybe like Obama, things like that. They are everybody loves him, and a lot of people like him. The way he speaks are very elegant. Maybe he's born a leader, but a lot of times, what happens to people who are not born a leader? Does it mean that they cannot be a leader? No, I think everybody can. It's a matter of learning how to be a leader. Today, I just share with you the 5 traits of leadership, how to be a champion. If you can practice 5, right, you're really starting to be the leader that you want to be. And there's many other things, for example, how to lead with heart. There's a lot of other things we need to do. And there's many things it's not covered today. If I have the opportunity to actually share with you next time, I will share with you other models. But basically, it can be learned. Leadership can be learned. It can be created, and you can actually make yourself to be a good leader. The question you have to ask yourself then: do you want to be one? Are you willing to be one? Right? Is good communication skill a prerequisite to becoming a good leader? Just give me a moment. Excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, is good communication skills a prerequisite to become a great leader? Okay, very good question. So let me ask you back. What do you think? Do you think a good communication skills is important to be for a leader? I think definitely right, because a lot of problems that has been happening around in the organization. Let me ask you this question: how many percent of the problems that we are facing in a company and organization, right, are caused by poor communication? If I give you a 0 to 100, right, how many percent do you think are caused by communication? Yeah, I think a lot of people I asked this question many times before. It's about at least 80% are communication skills, right? So a lot of times people never communicate correctly because they don't know how. They're not clear in their communication. They assume a lot. Their assumption is really the mother of all blunders in situation. Right? It's actually communication. Yeah, a lot of assumption. I think you should be this way. I think you should be this way. You never say things correctly. So good communication is key. If you want to influence somebody, it's about communication. If you want to get people to do certain things, it's about communication. If you want to solve problems, it's about communication. So communication is one of the very important skills that we all have learned, especially as a leader. Right? Any more?
Okay, these are all for today. Thank you so much for this incredible presentation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
I hope
yes,
everybody got a good value from this. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. I hope you all have some kind of big aha moment that you can take home and be the leader that you want to be. Yeah.
yes, sir. And yes, courage doesn't mean you don't get afraid. Courage means you don't let fear stops you. We have to dare to be a champion. We should celebrate all wins. It will increase our confidence. From her, we now know that success breeds confidence and vice versa, confidence breeds success. We have to try to be a leader who is responsible and resourceful. And of course, with this, a leader must be punctual as well. We hope this session will really help our audience to do better in their personal and professional life.
Again, thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time and
You're
share your
welcome.
comprehensive knowledge with all of us.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you
Dear,
for inviting me. Thank you so much for that.
you're welcome, sir. Dear
Yeah.
audience, I would love to thank you all for attending to this session. I hope you learned something new and you will implement it in your life. Thank you so much for being with us. Our next webinar will be held on setting goals and getting them. Hope to see you all there.
Right.
See
Bye
you
bye.
soon in our next
Yeah.
webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.